How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, I know many have heard by now about this couple, this husband and wife, what they have done to their 12 children. I heard about it, I think about 2 days ago, and it's down in Southern California. I don't know the exact name of the city. And when I first heard about it, I said, this is going to be big. So I said, I will lay back and I will wait for the story to unfold a little bit more. And I know in the next few weeks and months, there will even be more. So initially what we heard was that there were 13 children in captivity, and their 17-year-old daughter escaped and was able to get help to alert the authorities. And I said, it's going to be real big. And lo and behold, when you just be patient and wait, you'll get a bigger picture of this story. So my royal family, I have 2 videos to show y'all, and let's get down to the first one.
From horrific conditions in their California house, their parents are now charged with holding them captive. They're going to appear in court today as neighbors are sharing disturbing new details about the family. Our senior national correspondent Matt Gutman is at the courthouse in Riverside. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. We're going to see the Turpins for the first time today when they're arraigned at this courthouse. Now, they were arrested on 9 counts each of torture and child endangerment, and while the couple managed to skate under the radar for decades, our reporting has showed that they left a trail of clues of the alleged abuse everywhere they went. This morning, we learned the couple, now accused of torturing their children for decades, raised red flags at each of the multiple homes they lived in over the years.
I'd come home at anywhere from 12:30 to 3 in the morning. There's the kids marching between those 2 rooms up there.
And how long would they march back and forth for in single file?
Hours.
Hours.
Yeah.
Mike Clifford lives across the street from their former home. He says his wife described some of the children as robotic.
They talked very monotone and robotic, and they talked at the same time, saying the same thing.
Before moving to California, the family lived near Fort Worth, Texas. These photos offering a glimpse into what police say was that tortured household. Obtained by KTVT, the pictures show filth lacquering almost every surface, carpets hideously stained, grime smeared on the walls. Even the windows boarded up. The current owners were so disgusted, they held on to the pictures for nearly 20 years after the family moved out.
I call it the compound because they were so closed off from society.
And in this photo, taken in what appears to be a bedroom, a closer look reveals what appears to be some kind of tethering device tied to a bed. When police rescued the 13 siblings earlier this week, they found several children shackled to their beds with chains and padlocks. Louise Turpin's younger sister, Elizabeth Flores, tells us the house was run with militaristic rigidity.
They were really strict on the oldest daughter. She was bound to her room a lot, and they would let her come down and eat meals. Before she sat down, she had to get permission. And she knew that she had to look her mom in the eye, and there had to be a smile between them, and she'd tell her, go ahead.
And this morning, we're learning more about the recovery of the 13 siblings, who authorities say are suffering from chronic malnutrition that stunted their growth. A fundraiser for the 7 adults, the eldest 29, requesting clothing. The biggest pant size requested was a 16 slim, most often worn by 12-year-old boys.
Now, their doctors told me that those 13 siblings suffered starvation for years. But this morning we're hearing reports that the Turpins' 2 dogs are now up for adoption, and this is disturbing. They are in good condition. Now, doctors say there is hope for those 13 siblings, but it'll take years to nurse them back to mental and physical good health. George.
It's so hard to wrap your head around this story. Yeah. Thank you, Matt.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong.
Okay, my royal family, I'm going to continue on, and we're going to listen to this next video. And they had a press conference, and they go a little bit more into detail. It's about a 3-minute video as well.
13 of the victims, including the defendants, typically go to sleep around 4 or 5 in the morning, sleep all day, and then be up all through the night. The victims report that as a punishment, starting many years ago, they began to be tied up. First with ropes. One victim at one point was tied up and hog-tied. And then when that victim was able to escape the ropes, these defendants eventually began using chains and padlocks to chain up the victims to their beds. The punishments included frequent beatings and even strangulation. These punishments would last for weeks or even months at a time. One of the reasons for the punishments were if the children were found to wash their hands above the wrist area, they were accused of playing in the water. The evidence is that 3 victims were chained up at the time the police first knocked on the door at the home in Paris. The defendants were able to get 2 of the victims unchained before the police actually entered. An 11 and 14-year-old were unchained as the police stood at the door, while a 22-year-old remained chained to a bed when the police entered the home. The victims were often not released from their chains to go to the bathroom. The 17-year-old victim that escaped had been working on a plan with her siblings to escape this abuse for more than 2 years. She escaped through a window and took one of her siblings with her. That sibling eventually turned back, became frightened and turned back, and went back into the house. The neglect and abuse started when the family lived in the Fort Worth area of Texas, with the parents at one point living apart from most of the children and dropping off food from time to time. All the victims were and are severely malnourished. One of the children at age 12 is the weight of an average 7-year-old. The 29-year-old female victim weighs 82 pounds. Several of the victims have cognitive impairment and neuropathy, which is nerve damage as a result of this extreme and prolonged physical abuse. None of the victims were allowed to shower more than once a year. None of the victims have seen a doctor in more than 4 years. None of the victims have ever seen a dentist. They were not allowed to have toys, although there were many toys found in the house that were in their original package and had never been opened. Supposedly homeschooled, the children lack a basic knowledge of life. Many of the children didn't know what a police officer was. But the only thing the children were allowed to do in their rooms or chained up was to write in journals. We now have recovered those journals, hundreds of them, and we are combing through them for evidence. The parents would apparently buy food for themselves and not allow the children to eat it. They would buy food, including pies, apple pies, pumpkin pies, leave it on the counter, let the children look at it, but not eat the food.
All right. The latest now on the children rescued
family
from horrific conditions in their...
Let me shut this down. So, my royal family, let's blow this up just a little bit more. Now, my royal family, as I was watching both of the videos, what struck me was, my royal family, that the dogs were treated better. Isn't that ironic? Now, we all know by now, my royal family, that we are in truly, truly the last days, the last minutes, the last seconds. And what is going to continue to happen, my royal family, is everybody is going to go back to their true nature. So we're going to see more and more stories like this, to the point where they're going to stop even televising it. But we are in the age of exposure. There will be no way that they can hide it. Oh, those stories will come out, because they always been like this. But it's like they know that the impending doom is coming. And it's like, how I interpret it, it's like our Father really want the world to see how these people truly is in the rawest form. All right? This ain't nothing new. Again, ain't nothing new under the sun. And so with seeing them using the opiates, and the opiates is because they can't deal with what's about to go down, and also their treatment of each other. Now this confirmed everything that I've been saying for a long time. Now they treat us horrible. And I said to the royal family, okay, in this cesspool we have side effects. So while they are in their individual households, they do not shut off that behavior. They treat each other even worse. So now we are getting a glimpse into their households. Now, they always in our households, they always want to show us in the worst light. Now look at what they doing in their households. You see how shit quickly turn around? We're getting to see them in the rawest form. Now, whoever the couple was that kept the pictures, they were so disturbed by their behavior, they held on to those pictures for 20 years. So now, this is just like the tip of the iceberg. Wait till we get to the core, like I always say, or like I say, and the plot thickens. Oh yeah, it's going to be coming out quickly. Everything is going to be happening rapidly. So, what the royal family need to continue to do is get our house in order. We need to continue to stay God focused. And this is a good example. We should never, ever mirror the system. It's something that strikes me is that we got some of our own. They just want to be the enemy. They want to be with them. They want acceptance so much that they will dismiss the very gifts that our Father blessed us with. And so what you're saying is you want to be these people. Now check the play. They lived in nice neighborhoods. They made good money. But they're just being true to themselves. And then on top of all of that, the dogs are in excellent condition. Now see, my royal family, this doesn't shock me because this is the nature of the beast. And I've been, and many have been showing the true nature of the beast. Well, the beast gonna show us a lot of things, but in this cesspool, in this system, they ain't gonna like the exposure because they want to give us the illusion that they got good etiquette, speak with good diction, they're always moral, they're always upstanding. Well, they're just mirroring Trump, because this is what Trump is. That's the core of this fairly new people. Just going back to themselves. But I still can't get past that the dogs were in excellent condition. So anyway, my royal family, render your voice like you always do. Please, I want y'all to really mix it up. I want the royal family to go there. Because I love reading with some of the stuff that y'all put down. You are truly powerful, my royal family. It is an honor to be chosen. It is an honor that you are my brothers, my sisters, my kings and my queens. And then we have beautiful divine royals. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Keep thanking our Father that we are not this. And continue to separate, separate, separate. So anyway, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.